about the fact that being a citizen in this United States, or even a citizen of the state of Illinois, does not come with advantages over and above those who are not.
Right.
Getting into the universities that are the state universities, they have more foreign students and more people from out of state. People who get jobs, everything. Vote. My understanding is that people were able to vote even if they weren't a citizen.
Yes.
So why, when you say about protecting the laws, I believe that being a citizen ought to be the first order of business. You should not be able to vote. My little thing for you.
Let's be very clear. I ran for Congress and I talked about this war. And it's a war on our kids and our grandkids, because shame on us for the amount of money we're spending. There are a couple other wars out there. And hold on, we need to be very cognizant of the fact that there is a radical strain of Islam that wants to destroy this country.
Yes.
We can never lose our sight on that. We cannot lose touch with the fact that there's a war on our borders. And it's one of those issues, folks, where the people we elect are afraid to talk about it. It's understandable because they get hit over the head by the media. This is, repeat with me, this is the most compassionate country in the world. And it should not be mean-spirited to say, enforce our immigration laws. That should not be a mean-spirited example. All the way in the back.
Oh, I just wanted to add, it's about entitlements and things like this, but I'd like to add to what the lady in front of me with the red hair said. I have red hair too. We're lined up. There's a problem with the sanctuary cities and sanctuary states. Okay, we have, if you notice, California is on the point of bankruptcy. Illinois is on the point of bankruptcy. Nevada is on the point of bankruptcy. New York is on the point of bankruptcy. What do they all have in common? They're sanctuary states. And then there's also a problem with the way these sanctuary states run. There's no standard of rules, I guess. In California, this man was at a stop sign. He and his two sons were shot by a criminal. In this case, it was a Hispanic, and he was a gang member. And they refused, San Francisco refused to do anything about this. They put him back on the street. That's why he killed him. We happen to know this one poor Hispanic who was supporting his mother and sending money back. He was working. He got caught in Chicago in some kind of an automobile accident. They deported him. Now, to me, there's something really wrong with deporting somebody who's just simply supporting themselves and their family versus letting criminals. There seems to be no real good rules concerning. First of all, I'd like to do away with sanctuary stuff.
This is something we've got to deal with. The people you send to Congress need your help. The people you send to Springfield need your help when it comes to this issue. Get behind them if you got a political leader that's willing to step out and talk about this, because they do risk a lot, because they are going to get hit over the head. So be there for them when you get Republicans and Democrats talking tough on illegal immigration. Because right now it's bankrupt. It's a major factor in bankrupting our states.
Right.
All the way in the back. I know you. This had better be brief. Let the record show potential filibuster.
You cannot talk about reducing the budget without looking at the empire that we have all over the world. We have 785 military bases in 130 different countries. The military budget is about $650 billion, really $1 trillion when you add what NASA does for it, what the NSA does for it. We cannot afford it. We have 90 to $100 billion of unfunded liabilities, and that has to be looked at. That's also how we get into the groping at the airports. What do you think of the groping at the airports?
Vote for the expert.
Who is the party who has the most incentive to protect its capacity? The federal government and a big bureaucracy who, when they fail, make more money? Or is it the airlines and the insurance companies? Why can't we look out of the box?
Two issues, two questions. and you and I
They're
talked.
related.
I know, but let me answer. Look, the Defense Department, just like any other agency, department in our government, we've got to look at ways to save money, cut programs, and be more efficient. Where you and I are going to disagree, and we're not going to have this disagreement right now, is when our boys and our girls are engaged abroad, you may disagree about whether they should be engaged abroad. But right now, when they're engaged abroad, money isn't a factor. No, this is not a debate right now. Let me answer the question. When they're engaged abroad, we do whatever we have to do to win those engagements. I'm filibustering, okay? You and I disagree on that. We're not going to engage in that right now. When it comes to the groping in the airports, here's my answer. What I want my government doing is doing the best job they can do when it comes to intelligence on the front end, so that they don't have to grope on the back end.
Yes.
I want my government being able to practice smart law enforcement on the front end, so they don't have to grope on the back end. And again, here's another word that we throw out there, and politicians are afraid to talk about it. Do you want your government, do you want your law enforcement profiling? Yes. Call it profiling if you want to do it. I want my government practicing smart law enforcement. And oftentimes, smart law enforcement is profiling. Now, question in the front.
Of the committee assignments from me.
A much more genteel question.
And this shows you can't get money. Because your influence is going to start there.
I disagree, but it's a good question. The committee assignments will probably play out all through next week. So I should know what I am going to be on by the end of next week.
Did you have a choice, Joe?
You do, but it's political, and you've got to elbow people, and
Is that private at this point, or you want to?
terribly private. I can't believe you asked me that. But to your, look, there are a couple big issues that I want to talk about the next 2 years, irregardless of what committee I'm on. All the way. Let me go here, and then we'll go all the way in the back.
Yes, I noticed there's a lot of military jackets in your parades and around here, and are you doing anything or going to do anything to help those veterans, especially combat veterans, know their rights to the civilian laws, the installation order? And so are you going to have any type of, I don't know if it's committee or what you call it, to help these people coming back from wars, make sure they know what they can do?
Good question. Yes, this is a huge veteran district. A large number of veterans live and or try to work in this district. In general, as I said that I want to be here more than in D.C., more of our people are going to be here than in D.C. And we want to have specific outreach people to working with specific groups of people. And one of those groups is going to be veterans, so that we can help them in every facet of life, be it housing, employment, and be it any particular problems they're going through. Veterans in this district did a lot to help get me elected. I'm not going to forget that.